In the early 2000s, the EU tried to move from being a trade union to a political entity by drafting a formal treaty establishing a constitution for Europe. However, this was not what the people of Europe wanted. In 2005, the people of France, 55% no, and the Netherlands, 61% no, rejected this constitution in national referendums. The voters were explicitly saying they did not want a centralized states with a European Minister of Foreign Affairs or a constitutional identity that superseded the nation state. The outcome? After a period of reflection, the EU leadership did not abandon the project. Instead, they rebranded it as the Lisbon Treaty, 2007. Under European law, major treaties cannot be ratified by the EU's own institutions, like the European Parliament or the European Commission. Instead, they must be ratified by each individual member state according to its own national constitutional requirements. Here's how the process actually worked and why it was so controversial. First off, the ratification was national, not EU level. For the Lisbon Treaty to become law, all 27 member states had to approve it. 26 countries ratified it through their national parliaments. Ireland was the only country to hold a public referendum about the Lisbon Treaty, where people of Ireland initially rejected it. This was, however, not acceptable for the EU's ruling elite, so Ireland was forced to repeat the vote, where the Irish government managed to get approval in a second vote in 2009. In fact, this practice of repeating a referendum until a yes vote is achieved is one of the most cited criticisms of the EU's democratic process. This tactic has been used successfully on 3 major occasions involving 2 different countries. In each case, the pattern was identical. The public rejected a treaty, the EU provided legal guarantees or clarifications to address specific fears, and the government held a second vote to overturn the first. First case, Maastricht Treaty, Denmark, 1992. First vote, 49.3% no. Second vote, 1993, 56.7% yes. Second case, Treaty of Nice, Ireland, 2001. First vote, 53.9% no. Second vote, 2002, 62.9% yes. Third case, Lisbon Treaty, Ireland, 2008. First vote, 53.4% no. Second vote, 2009, 67.1% yes. The Lisbon Treaty was signed in 2007 and became effective in 2009. The treaty reformed the European Union's structure and decision-making after the failed constitutional implementation, giving the EU legal personality, establishing the President of the European Council, and centralizing powers in Brussels.